2015 has been another productive year for the Molly Begain Melanoma Foundation. Thank you for your continued support. For the past 15 years, Molly's Fund has been focused on prevention and early detection on a global scale. Melanoma rates continue to increase at a time when other cancers are in decline. Molly's Fund is proud of the scope of their outreach and believes they are saving lives every year. This year, we were chosen to present our foundation's initiatives to the Melanoma Research Alliance's annual retreat in Washington, D.C. Molly's Fund is honored to support the Cancer Immunotherapy Patient Forum November 7th at National Harbor, Maryland. This agenda will include cutting-edge scientific presentations for cancer patients and their caregivers. Because we support community-based melanoma foundations across the nation, Molly's Fund has been instrumental in the formation of MAC, the Melanoma Action Coalition. Assisting others in the melanoma community helps us all become more effective in what we do to eradicate this disease. Because of your help, we have been able to continue our public awareness campaign on TV, radio, cabs, buses, and print. Millions of pedestrians from all over the world can view our Times Square PSAs on a 72-foot-high digital media screen. Our ads on ABC, NBC, CBS, and other national cable channels continue to urge people to protect themselves from the sun's damaging rays, avoid tanning beds, and be aware of any changes in their skin. Once again, we teamed up with Yankee Radio for weekend home game public service announcements that remind fans to be sun safe. Every Friday throughout the summer, 1010 Wins listeners were told to be vigilant about sun protection.
Hey fans, the Yankees are heading out under the sun today. The Molly Begain Melanoma Foundation wants to remind you that when you head out to protect yourself, seek shade and wear sunglasses and protective clothing.
Molly's Fund presented their annual Sun Safety Assembly to 6th graders at the Garden City Middle School.
And the sun is a wonderful, wonderful thing. However, sometimes the sun, and too much of it, can do damage.
Dr. Ted Daly from Garden City Dermatology led the students in a lively discussion of the importance of sun-safe behavior.
I think this is extremely important, particularly for young school children, to learn patterns, to learn behaviors, so that the incidence of melanoma continues to decrease and doesn't increase like it has for adults in the past decade.
Dr. John Clark, the physician-musician, solidified the message by performing his exciting rap song, Stop Melanoma.
Stop melanoma, please understand. Stay out the sun, it comes from a 10. When I say stop, you say melanoma. Stop. Melanoma. Stop. Melanoma. Yeah.
I think this is very important, especially for me personally, because I have very pale skin, and with the sun I can get a lot of damage. I think Molly's Fund, thank you for doing this, because you're really getting the message out further to the 6th grade class.
With Dr. Victoria Siegel's assistance, we continued our nursing education programs by providing seminars at Mercy Medical Center and Winthrop University Hospital. Our presenter, Dr. Siegel, stressed that because nurses are on the front line in medical care, they have the responsibility of educating and being a good role model for their patients.
We have to role model that behavior, teach our patients that behavior, teach our families that behavior, etc.
We plan to expand this program in years to come.
This program today at Winthrop was a very helpful review of skin cancer signs and symptoms. I think the ABCD, again, was a good review. Molly's Fund's doing an excellent job. I don't think there's been enough stress in helping prevent skin cancer. I think Molly's Fund should do this as often as they can. Every year would be good, because every year we're going to capture probably a different audience.
Molly's Fund is a great organization. I've been involved with them with 2 events so far. The first was a talk that I did at the New York State Society of Physicians Assistants, which was a continuing medical educational conference where I gave a talk about immunotherapy to take care of patients with melanoma, but also how immunotherapy is being used to take care of patients with many different kinds of cancers. So Molly's Fund has great messages for people all across the spectrum of healthcare. Doctors, for nurses, for physician's assistants, for nurse practitioners. At the Physician's Assistants Conference where we were speaking before, their message really was everyone that's seeing a patient can be part of the care team and really needs to be paying attention to the possibility of abnormal looking moles or other skin issues. It's important that everyone be mindful of the possibility of melanoma and to really evaluate aggressively. That was the first event. And then the second was participation in a radio talk show called Katz's Corner, with Dr. Katz, and we were talking about sun safety at the beginning of the summer, and it was a really appropriate time having this talk show in May as the summer months were beginning.
Tanning beds are just very simply just best avoided. If you feel like you have to do something, spray tanning is a preferable alternative to the tanning bed used, in my opinion.
Mollies Fund continues to provide sunscreen, hats, and educational materials to the 120 Northeast participating teams and their families at the annual Jay Gallagher Lacrosse Tournament. This tournament, under the direction of Dr. Tony Randy, memorializes Jay, a famed defenseman and coach who died at 39 from melanoma. All summer long, the members and visitors at the Garden City Pool had access to free sunscreen provided by Mollies Fund.
Yes, sun safety is important to the patrons. Through Mollies Fund, we are able to educate. They donate to us every year sunscreen, big container that's easily dispensed for the members' usage. The lifeguards and attendants lead by example by putting on the sunscreen that we provide for the patrons.
This year, sunscreen and other educational materials were given to the Cancer Center for Kids at Winthrop University Hospital and the Cohen Cancer Medical Center at North Shore LIJ.
We know that the incidence of skin cancer has increased a great deal, and our patients might be more prone towards this kind of a problem. Mollies Fund has been terrific with our patients, helping us with this role, that important role. We know how important it is to teach and to tell people of the importance of things like sun exposure, but there's nothing like setting an example for both the patients and the rest of our staff. And as the chief of the division, I take that responsibility quite seriously.
These initiatives were possible through the generous contribution from Coppertone of SPF 50 sunscreen for kids. We were also able to donate sunscreen to our overseas troops and to our pre-break college skin cancer awareness programs with the support of La Roche-Posay sunscreen products. We appreciate the generosity of both these companies in helping us broadcast the necessity of sunscreen with their product donations. Jack and Maggie were honored to be recognized by Adelphi University and the Ruth S. Ammon School of Education this year for outstanding achievement in community education. Our junior board continues to reach out to our members via social media by keeping our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter accounts up to date. Each hour, one person will die from melanoma. It is the most common form of cancer for young adults ages 25 to 29. Tanning bed use has contributed significantly to this upsurge. We are very proud of the impact we had this year with our viral video campaign called Free Killer Tan. We would like to thank Area 23, an FCB health company who partnered with us on the production of this successful pro bono campaign that has reached millions on the dangers of tanning beds.
Next, a new campaign to warn people about the dangers of indoor tanning.
You may have come across this compelling new public service announcement video online today.
Hi, welcome to Sun.
How are you? Good.
How's it going?
Good. This is so cute.
Did you towel? Some goggles for you.
I'm Dr. Hale, and I'm a board-certified dermatologist. How do you feel walking into this?
I feel terrible for him, for me.
I'm in shock.
It was frightening and real.
The campaign is called Free Killer Tan.
Free Killer Tan.
Découvrir c'est Free Killer Tan.
So
wow.
pretty profound, pretty powerful, sponsored by Mollies Fund.
It's impactful. It makes an incredible statement.
Doctors here say this message is a reality that people need to hear.
Unsuspecting New Yorkers were invited to a fake tanning salon, only to discover they would be attending their own funeral.
Flowers and a bed of UV lamps as a casket.
I loved that PSA because there are so many people that die of melanoma.
The reason they're doing this is every year, 10,000 Americans die of melanoma, and there are some studies that say just one tanning experience like that increases your chance of melanoma by 20%.
Free Killer Tan officially launched on February 3rd. The reaction was immediate and widespread. Hundreds of online, television, and print media outlets picked up the story. To reach young people before the tanning damage was done, we connected with sororities and fraternities on Twitter, inspiring them to create their own pledge to ban the tan. On Facebook, we seeded the conversation with a single targeted post. Within 2 days, it spread to over 10 million people. Thousands of users got in on the conversation, pleading with loved ones to stop tanning, and even taking the major step of publicly proclaiming that they will never tan again. It started with some very personal tanning interventions.
This is my first time tanning, and after this, never again.
In the end, it sparked a necessary wake-up call that opened the eyes of millions to the truth. There's no such thing as a free killer tan.
Events that Mollies Fund does to instill a sense of sun safety in all people around the country and around the world is absolutely critical. And so if you notice any abnormalities, I think the message that Mollies Fund really is communicating is have it evaluated by a skin doctor or a primary doctor, and really be your own advocate, because early diagnosis is also very critical.
Melanoma continues to increase, and every year a new generation of children and their families need to be educated about sun safety, the hazards of tanning beds, and to be aware of potentially dangerous moles. In Molly's name, we thank you. Our family thanks you, and our boards thank you for your ongoing support and loyalty over the past 15 years in our work to prevent melanoma.